Hey guys, this is Coach Alyssa coming to you from Isabella Fitness, and I'm going to take you through some mobility and stretching today. Alright, so today we're going to focus really on opening up our back and our hamstrings. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to take you guys through today is our standing fold over. Alright, so what we're going to start with is you're going to stand straight up, and then I'll show you guys from the side. Today we are going to let our body fold over, curl over. I know in workouts we really want to avoid doing this and rounding our back. Today with this stretch, that's going to be okay. All right, so we're slowly going to come down our legs, bring our hands down our legs until we're in this fold over position here. Right. You may only be able to come down to your ankles or your shins. You may be able to come down to the floor. Either way, we're going to stick here for a little while. We're going to sit into this stretch. You should feel your hamstrings up the back of your leg. You should feel a nice stretch there. With these ones, we want to stay a little bit more locked out. We don't want to have necessarily a big bent knee here. But only stretching as far down as feels good. It should feel like a stretch, shouldn't feel any pain here. All right, really relax your head as well. And just let our arms sink down. Feel a big stretch here. You can also sway side to side in this position. Feel it a little bit in our lower back, getting a nice lower back stretch. You can bounce in and out here. And you may even find yourself, the longer we're in this position, getting a little bit further down our leg, closer to the floor. Stay here for another 30 seconds. Good, and piece by piece, we're going to walk our hands back up our legs, one piece of our spine coming up at a time. We might want to reach up overhead. Feel a big release in our back. All right, and I'm going to turn towards the camera, and I'm going to have us get into a wide V position this time. Standing in this wide V position. Again, we're going to forward fold. We should feel it a little bit differently in the back of our legs here. You want your toes to be pointed forward or out just on a small angle. All right, and we're going to slowly again bring ourselves down to the floor. Again, we can lean in and out. You might feel it a little bit more on the inside of our legs on this one. But we will hang and relax here. And if you want to feel an even deeper stretch here, we can interlock our arms and just let our head fall through. And really let that pull us down and feel a nice stretch in that lower back hamstring area. I may even add a sway here as well. We'll stay here one more minute, and then we'll move on to our next stretch. Last 10 seconds here. Good, and we'll release up again, piece by piece, coming up to standing. We can go up overhead with our arms, a little lean to the side. Good. All right, and then again here, I'm gonna have us walk our hands out to the floor. We can come down to a tabletop position on the floor, on our yoga mat, on a blanket. All right, and then from here, we're gonna go into a downward dog. So this one is a yoga pose. What we're going to do here is we're gonna bring our toes down to the floor, and we're gonna bring our hips up, and we're gonna bring our hips back. All right, we should be feeling a nice stretch now as well down our calves. Trying to press those heels into the floor, feeling a nice hamstring stretch, feeling a nice release here as well in our lower back, and bringing our head through our arms. All right, you can come out into a high plank and back into this position to get a little bit of a bigger stretch. And we'll stay here another 30 seconds. You can also walk the feet, bending a little bit at the knees. Good, and come on down. All right, from here, we're gonna go into a scorpion pose. So you need a little extra room for this one as well as the next stretch that we're going to do. All right, so try to create as much space as you can on the floor. All right, with this one, we're gonna lay flat first. All right, so we're gonna lay flat to the ground. All right, from here, once we're laying flat, we can bring our arms out wide. All right, bring our arms out wide. We're going to take one leg will stay straight, the other is going to come up. All right, we're gonna lift our hips. We're gonna try to meet it to our opposite shoulder. All right, so keep that other leg nice and long. And then one leg to the shoulder, and try to keep our chest where it is. We only want to curl that leg back as far as we can while keeping our chest to the floor. And come down, we're going to switch to the other side. Good. From here, we're gonna come up back to our tabletop position. Now that scorpion pose is definitely one that if you wanna sit in to that pose a little bit longer, you can, but you can usually feel it pretty intensely, so it's a tough one to stay in for a long period of time. Now this next one, which is probably one of my favorites, gives you a nice lower back stretch. All right, again, you need a lot of space for this one. We're gonna lay out flat on our back for this one. This is gonna be our T stretch. All right, we're laying flat. Arms can come out wide again. I'm gonna bring them to my side just for room purposes. All right, and we're gonna take our leg. All right, we're gonna take our leg and we're going to straighten it out, bring it over our other leg, and we should feel a nice big stretch here in our lower back. Right, so we're trying to keep our back to the floor while also having this crossover and keeping that bottom leg, the one that's straight on the bottom, this one's straight as well that's crossing over. And just feel a nice stretch here in our lower back. And you may be up here, you may be further down than I am. All right, so everybody's gonna feel this stretch differently depending on just how our back is feeling, if it's feeling tight. All right. So just keeping our back to the floor, getting that fold over with our leg. All right, and we're gonna sit in this for another 30 seconds, and then we are going to switch sides. Okay, we can bring our feet back to center, bring our hips and our back flat again. All right, from here, now we're gonna go the opposite way. So, now the opposite leg will come over the other one, and we'll bring that leg forward and feel a nice stretch on that other side of our lower back. All right, if you can bring the arms out nice and long, out to the side. Feel a great stretch here. This can definitely help release any lower back tension, tightness. We're gonna sit in this stretch for another 30 seconds. And then we'll move on to our next mobility movement. All right, we're gonna straighten out. Come back again flat to our mat. Feel a little release in our back from that stretch. Good, and then you can curl up one piece of our spine at a time. And we're gonna turn back to a tabletop position. All right, so from here, I'm going to have us go into a cat-cow. So we're going to start in this position. We're going to really arch our back. All right, eyes should be looking up, chest should be up forward, bringing our hips to the sky and creating this arched position with our back. All right, we're going to come out of this stretch and we're going to come into a hollow position. So this is our cat position. This is our cow position. All right. When I'm pressing into that cat position, I'm pressing my back, the center of my back to the sky, creating this hollow position, creating this tightness in my core. I'm gonna have us go from cow back to our cat position. All right, hold for 10 seconds on each and then go into the next one. And we're gonna do this for 2 minutes, just feeling a nice stretch in our back. Definitely helps to time your stretches, so if you have a clock with you, you can always time them as well. Last 30 seconds here in our cat-cow position. Good, and I'm going to have us do one last stretch in the seated position. All right, so here in this seated position, legs are nice and long. We're going to bring up one leg, all right, and then from here, we're going to bring our opposite elbow to opposite knee, and we're going to turn here, pressing that elbow to that knee and stretching, turning here. Should feel a good stretch in our back here. And we'll hold this for another 20 seconds. The more you press on that knee and get that turn, bigger stretch you'll get. And that back arm should just be nice and long and straight, giving us some support. Good. We can turn back, leg comes back straight. All right, opposite knee is going to come up. And then from here again, nice and slow, we can turn. And if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other, you can spend a little bit more time on that side. This one's a little bit tighter for me, so I might stay here a little bit longer. Really pushing in, driving that elbow into this knee and getting that turn. And we should be feeling this stretch right here in the center, lower back. All right, you can even turn and bring your head and neck to look back over your back shoulder. Again, help feel this movement a little bit more intensely. Good. Turn back. Do a little twist with our back. Thank you so much for joining me for this stretching and mobility for our back and hamstrings, and I will see you in the next one.